If you're somebody who struggles with talking to women, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Diana. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing tips on how you can master the art of conversation with women. Or as I like to call it, how to go from being left on red to actually going on dates. The sad reality is that men suck at talking to women. Honestly, like, who can blame them? Women are terrible at talking in general. Every other word is like. I myself have been an active participant in the like and department. This is why I think it is so important to focus on actually interacting with other individuals in order to brush up on your communication skills. And not just communication skills, but your conversation skills. Because honestly, if you can refine this skill set of being able to have a good conversation, this will not only help you with women, this will also help you in day-to-day life and within your business or within your career, etc. Ultimately, being a good conversationalist will allow you to weed out the women who are not worth it. If you're able to lead a good conversation and maintain it, and she's not able to contribute to it or add anything of substance, then move on. Next. So with that said, here are a few helpful tips for you on how you can be a good conversationalist. Do you ever experience long stretches of awkward silence with a woman on a first date, or maybe even just in general? This can easily be avoided with one small tactic, and that is to be intentional. Before you meet up with a woman, ask yourself, what is the purpose of the conversation that I am about to have with this person? If you're looking for a serious relationship and you're going on a first date with a woman, then your intention would be to establish a connection with her and get to know one another. You can ask about her background, her interests, her hobbies, talk about movies, books. The goal is to identify what your shared interests are. And then the key to a successful first date is to actually listen, show genuine interest, let the dialogue flow naturally so that you could determine whether or not you even want a second date with this person. If it isn't your first date with her, then focus on growing the connection that you guys have already formed. Maybe dive into more personal topics while simultaneously still keeping things fun and light. At the end of the day, the goal is not to figure out whether or not she's wife material. The goal is to figure out whether or not the two of you can actually get along. Ask open-ended questions, provide thoughtful answers, and just let the conversation flow naturally. More importantly, don't be afraid to be yourself. If you fake who you are, she's gonna figure out who you really are later on down the road. Overall, setting an intention will help guide your conversation, and it'll make you feel more confident in yourself because you have a game plan of how you intend to spend your time with her. Number 2 is to focus on engaging with a very specific kind of mindset, and that kind of mindset is a curious kind of mindset. I can't tell you the number of times that I've talked to a guy and it resulted in him telling me all about his life story and every single detail of his weekend. While I'm not a big talker, and there are definitely other women out there who are not necessarily extroverts as well, I don't think that we appreciate or want to hear you talking about yourself the entire date. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of you coming up and talking to me if you're just going to talk to yourself about yourself the whole time? So my tip for you is to go into the conversation with a curious kind of mindset, ask questions, be open-minded, and avoid making any kind of quick judgments or assumptions. Instead, just listen actively. Remember this quote whenever you talk to a woman, or actually anybody in general. The biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand, we listen to reply. My third tip is to contribute this little secret ingredient into your conversation. So you might not be the most conventionally attractive man on the planet. You might not have a six-pack. You might not, I don't even know who's the hottest man on the planet. You might not be a Brad Pitt, but you can add this one secret little ingredient into any conversation that you have, and it will quite literally change everything for you. And that secret little ingredient is charisma. Being charismatic is one of the most attractive things that you can be because it has an incredibly captivating and magnetic effect on others. Charismatic men exude this kind of confidence in them that is impossible to overlook. Additionally, charismatic men are extremely skilled at engaging others within their conversation, and they express themselves very articulately. A charismatic man's ability to connect with others on a deeper level also adds to the overall appeal. For example, when I first started dating my boyfriend, the number one thing that I loved about him was how charismatic he was. I loved how positive he was and how charming he was. He just radiated this positive happiness and joy, and even though later on he told me that he was really shy around me, I didn't even notice because that charisma was so powerful. And just as a side note, charisma is not about being the center of attention, nor is it about dominating conversation. Being charismatic is about creating a positive and influential impact on others. And it's not just a great tool to have in your toolbox for women, but it's also a great tool that you can utilize in your life in general. So to recap, if you want to master the art of conversing with women, there are 3 things that you should focus on. 1 is to be intentional. Before you meet up with a woman, before you approach a woman, ask yourself, what is the intention of the conversation I'm about to have with her? Don't just go up to a woman and say hi and expect her to carry on the conversation. Number 2, go into conversations with a curious kind of mindset. Don't make it all about you. Number 3, be charismatic. A lot of people think that you have to be born with this quality, but that's not true. It's a learned skill, so learn it. Be fun, be lighthearted, and remember, the worst thing that she can say is no, which in my opinion is never a rejection, it's always a redirection. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please comment down below. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.